Astrology Awareness Update for January 2023. Hi, Carmen.
Hi, how are you?
I'm I'm ready for this 2023. Are you ready, Carmen?
I'm ready for this new year, this new energy. And the cool thing is we're starting off the new year. January 6th is going to start the full moon in Cancer. So the full moon is a time where we're going to feel reflective and to turn inward. And when it's in the sign Cancer, we're going to be more emotional, more motherly, more security focused, dependent, a little bit moody, nurturing, creative, want to kind of withdraw from the world and be home, safe and cozy, right inside our home with our family and pets. So we'll be feeling that on January 6th. And there's going to be a lot of heightened psychic abilities and intuition that people might have. They may dream things more vividly during this full moon. They might have intuition and just these feelings that come over them, or someone's on their mind and that person calls them, or they reach out and someone was going to call them. So connecting, listen to your gut instincts during this full moon, because it's typically very powerful and very a time to reconnect with people and get in touch with your emotions. What are you really feeling? Because Cancer's a moon sign, and guess what? Cancer rules the moon. So the moon is the planet that rules the sun sign Cancer. So it's in its home. It's in its ruling house there.
So let me ask you a question, Carmen. And by the way, if you're new to the show, my name's Sherianna Boyle. I didn't even say that, Carmen. I just jumped right in. Happy New Year. So if you're new to the show, my name's Sherianna Boyle. I'm the host, and Carmen is here with us every month, once a month. So I just want you to know, always think about, it's the beginning of the month. Let me get my astrology update on Just Ask Spirit, and we will be here for you. But so my question is, Carmen, as we kind of unpack this, and by the way, everyone, Carmen is a licensed therapist as well. So you're an astrologer, you're a licensed therapist, you're an author of many books, many, many books. I'm also an author, and I teach psychology and all that stuff. And our books can be found on justaskspiritmarketplace.com. So if you go to justaskspiritmarketplace.com, you'll find them there. So my question to you is, could somebody easily think they're depressed during this time? Because you say we're going to be more emotional, a little bit moody. So
yes,
from a mental health perspective, can you give some insight on that?
Yes. So with winter, especially now that we're in the winter season, the seasonal affective disorder, with the lack of sunlight, I think a lot of people start feeling that. So I always say it's important to take vitamin D. Make sure you check your vitamin D levels. If you're feeling really, really down and really depressed and sad, make sure to reach out to someone and talk to somebody during this time, because, coming out of the holidays, they say the holidays is a really stressful time for a lot of people because of, maybe lost loved ones, or not having family and friends there that maybe were there before, maybe they passed on, and just the stress of the holiday season. I think once it's over, now that we're in January, I think there's you can take a deep breath. You feel like, okay, we got through the holidays, and now, it's a good time to focus on all this new energy, your New Year's resolutions, and all of the positive things that are going on in your life. But when a full moon happens, though, especially in Cancer, in a water sign that is known to be moody anyways, and the moon rules the tides of the ocean, so those waves going up and down, it's normal to have highs and lows. And if you get too low, though, it's important to reach out to talk to someone and find tips that work for you, self-care tips. For me, I like to listen to music. I like to have peaceful surroundings. I like to have some good food. I like to journal and write and cuddle with my pet. Whatever you can do to make yourself feel better and that nourishes you. And don't beat yourself up. I think that's the other thing. Everyone feels down and depressed at times. It's natural. We're all human. And especially during the full moon, it affects everyone on the whole earth. So everyone.
So when you say full moon, and I'm thinking about all of us who set those New Year's resolutions. So I really have compassion if you're someone who says, okay, I'm going to the gym every day. Yeah. I'm going to eat healthier. I'm going to, whatever your thing is. what I'm hearing you say is tread lightly here. Don't have too
Yeah.
high of expectations during. Does a full moon affect that? Because we don't want to get all bummed out. Like, you go for a few days and you're like, okay, I'm over
Yeah.
it. Like the gym's always packed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
The
like,
full
where
moon,
do these people come from?
it's going to make you want to eat. I mean, Cancer,
Oh boy.
it's going to be all about comfort, security, good food. A lot of people, turn to food as a comfort, and it's not always a bad thing, but during this full moon, Cancers are known to like to cook. A lot of them become chefs. So food and making meals, and you're going to feel like this sense of wanting to be with your family and maybe cook a meal for them and just be comfort and security. But you're going to be more imaginative, more sensitive, maybe take things a little bit more personally during the full moon. And so it only lasts for a couple days. So it's not like something that's going to last for
Okay.
years, like some of the other
So
or
when's it
months.
start, Carmen?
January 6th. And
Okay.
and
Okay.
and
And
you'll
when,
start feeling it this week. I mean, you'll start feeling it,
okay.
probably feeling it really in a couple days. You'll start feeling that full moon energy of the first of the month here in January, and it'll last till about probably January 8, 9, and then it'll lift. Then the moon won't be full anymore, and it's not a bad thing. The full moon does make you turn inward, and kind of get more obsessed with your own emotions, your own thoughts and feelings. And when it's in Cancer, it's a good time just to relax and make sure to surround yourself around comfortable, peaceful situations and people that bring you peace. Because you don't want to be, everyone's already feeling a little bit unsettled. When there's a full moon, you feel a little bit unsettled. You might feel like, oh, I'm really emotional. You might cry, hear a song, watch a show, and you're like, I don't know why I'm crying. You might feel sad. Just release it. It's just energy. That's what astrology is. It's what the moon is. It affects our emotional nature. And so once you're aware of
I
it,
would
like, okay,
imagine taking baths or being in water.
yeah,
Do you find that is
yes,
intuitively that
yeah,
feeling of just sort of like immersing yourself?
yes,
My mother recently went through a breakup and it was really traumatic. She's been with this guy for a really, really long time, like longer than some people are married. And she just was like, I just had to keep getting in the bathtub because I just had to
yeah,
just heal myself, right? Because from this trauma, right? It's traumatic when relationships end and things like that. So I'm imagining that water, like being in a cocoon kind of thing. So so it will alleviate,
yeah. It's just going to be
right?
a couple days. We're going to be feeling more sensitive, more emotional. And if you already have Cancer in your chart, it won't be new for you. You'll probably enjoy the full moon in Cancer. When it's in your sign. If you have a lot of Cancer energy in your chart, you
Well,
may just feel really, really at home and really
and
good during this time.
and
Yeah,
I don't mean to take you off track here, but I have a question.
sure.
What is your take on if somebody is always kind of attracting the same sign people?
Yeah,
Do you have a
yeah,
take on that? Because
yes,
it's
yeah.
not happening to me, but I know it happening to someone else where they're like surrounded by the same sign. What does that mean?
So there's two things that I notice that happen, and I see it with my daughter in her chart as well. So when whatever element that we lack in our chart, and that's energy. So we have fire, air, earth, and water. So those are the energies, right, in our chart. Whatever we lack, we don't have a lot of, we tend to draw those people, or we're really attracted to those people. So say you have a lot of water. So you're really sensitive, really artistic, creative, emotional, and love relationships. You're all about people. And then you have no air in your chart. So you're not that much about intellect, right? Thinking about things. You're more about feeling things. You're going to be drawn to people that are a little bit unemotional, detached, not maybe
Interesting.
emotionally available. Okay. You're gonna draw the opposite of what you really need because you lack that element. It doesn't mean they're the best match for you compatibility wise. You're just going to draw because you lack that energy. So it's to help you balance. It's all about balancing the four elements in your chart, in your life.
Interesting. Because a lot of people would interpret that as they're not for me.
Well,
right?
and I tell my daughter this because she always draws air signs. And I'm like, I told her several times, she is all earth. She is so Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. And I said, and she, all of these people, her friends, and they hurt her feelings. She says, Mom, they don't even think about me. Like, I feel like I care more than them. And like, they don't do and say things like she would do because they're her best friend or whatever. And I'm like, that's because they're air. They're in their head. They're not emotional people. They don't even know how to talk about it. And she's like, yeah, that's them. They don't know how to talk about how they feel. And I want to talk about what's going on with them and help them. And they're not able to do that. So she gets a little frustrated, and she knows now they're air. She goes, Mom, I met someone at work and they're Aquarius. And she, they're air. And she's like, I'm drawing them. I'm like, it's because you have no air. But you need a water or earth sign to ground you. That's your best match. So traditionally earth and water go together, and fire and air are very compatible.
They ought to create a dating site. Honestly, I wonder if it's already out there.
They got them. You put your sign in, who's your best match.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, we can do a whole show on that if you want someday.
We could, but let's do like a dating show, or like that'll be really interesting. Okay. Yeah. So all right. So now the full moon is it's no longer. And now what should we be aware of this month?
So, last show we talked about Mercury retrograde. So we are still experiencing that right now in January, and it's going to be until the end of the month until we find relief. So the whole month of January, I just want you to know that, your feelings are going to be turned inward. You're going to feel there's miscommunication, mental confusion, travel delays, more arguments, more conflict. If anything that has to do with communication and travel is Mercury. So be careful what you put in writing, what you email. Don't send that email if you're upset. Wait, just hold on to it. Don't push send, because a lot of times we react to things, and then later on we find out it wasn't what we thought it was. And that's why it's not a good time to start anything new during Mercury retrograde. It's a time to reflect, to finish old projects. You're going to feel like, oh, I want to accomplish things. I want to get organized. I want to complete these things that I've been procrastinating. You're going to have a lot of energy to get a lot of stuff done, which is a good thing. But don't sign anything new. Don't buy a new car, a house, or anything during this time till this thing is over. This Mercury retrograde is over. And what it means is that the planet's energies are blocked. They're it looks like they're spinning backwards in the sky is what we would, if we have to describe it. It just means the energy is blocked, and it's not free flowing energy. And so it affects our speech, our words, our writing, our emotions, what we interpret. And so it can cause a lot of confusion, right? Because our natural energy of communication is not flowing. And so people can get a little irritated, a little frustrated, and they don't know why, right? And we have, another thing that's affecting us too that I'll talk about here in a minute. But the biggest thing with Mercury, just to know, is it stations direct on January 18th. And it's still going to be in the shadow period till 24 Jan. Which it means that it's still affecting us. It's still not over, even though I'm online, it'll say January 18th, it's done, but it's really not. And it's been in the sign Capricorn, which is affecting all of us because Capricorns are very practical. They're very realistic, but they're also the pessimist of the zodiac. And they're known to have dark moods and to get stuck in their head about things they see the glass is half empty. A Capricorn typically, because they can't help it. They're realist. They're practical. They're earth signs. They're like, that doesn't make any sense. No, I don't believe that. Yeah. And so our mind right now, everyone is being affected by the planet Mercury being in the sign Capricorn in the sky, and it's retrograde. So it's a little bit blocked. So we're going to be hard on ourselves. We're going to be feel a little bit burdened.
So this would not be, back to relationships, this would not be a good time to break up with someone?
No, but the reason that's happening is I think is because of all of these Scorpio Taurus nodes that are affecting us, that death and rebirth, transformation, change, that energy is shaking up many relationships. There's a lot of people that are divorcing. I mean, you can see it in the media. They're
Yeah.
separating, divorcing.
That's what I was thinking about. People either getting divorced or thinking about ending a relationship.
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
Because anything that we feel is outgrown us, that's Taurus energy. Scorpio wants to completely kill it and let it be reborn and transformed to something new. Scorpio, these nodes and these eclipses that we talked about last show are still affecting us now. And so I see a lot of breakups, a lot of people, and a lot of people that are still losing loved ones. I had just did a post,
So
and animals.
true. I feel like it's really
Ah,
a
yeah,
lot.
a
Every
lot of
time you
love.
turn on
Yeah,
the news or young
yes,
people, I mean,
yes,
children. And I'm
yes.
just like, I don't know. Is this just because technology is right in our faces and it's always been going on? Or is this, I don't know, but I've been feeling that as well. Go
And
ahead.
people are, it's interesting. I posted in one of my astrology groups, and I just said, how's everybody doing? Let's talk a little bit about grief. How do you process grief? What's going on? And everyone shared, everyone, the past year, everyone that wrote had lost a loved one, a mother, a brother, a pet. Several people have lost animals during this time. And I lost a friend in September, and his mother, and my husband lost a friend. So it's just so many people are losing loved ones, but it's not always death, because Scorpio is death and rebirth, but it's also change. So anything that's not helping you grow or heal, you're going to want to release it, and you're going to want to cut ties. So long-term relationships, people you've been with for years, they may just, one of them, depending on their chart, I have to see the chart to see everything going on in the transits, but something has happened to make them change that long of a relationship to end it. So there's something going on energy wise. Their soul mission, their soul or transit, something happened, and it affects your feelings of like I've been feeling that way. Like I just want to break free, and I just want to like get a whole new job. Like I've
Yeah.
been feeling this, but then, and it's like I feel like I just want to walk away. I just want to walk away and start fresh. But you can't just do that with everything. You can't just give up your career. So, but what it is that it's the energy that's affecting us, making us feel this way. So once we know, okay, this is just the energy going on, don't make any huge major decisions during this time, because Mercury's retrograde. You'll regret it if you do. So wait till January's
Has that
over.
ever happened to you, Carmen? Have you ever made a decision during Mercury retrograde and then look back and was like, damn, I wish I didn't do it at that time?
Yes, several times. The most recent I kind of talked about last show was I've been wanting to get out of this house I'm in for years, because I've just been wanting to get the house I want, get a little bit of land, and we found something that we happen to both love, but something felt off, and I knew it was Mercury retrograde. We're it just full speed ahead. Everything started happening real fast. We got sucked in. We ended up making an offer. They accepted it. We bought a house, and I kind of still felt like uneasy, because Mercury retrograde. Next thing you know, the realtor calls and says they backed out. They don't want to sell now. And we had already signed the contract. And they said, well, you can get a lawyer if you want to fight it. And we're like, well, no. I mean, so we walked away. And then after that, you know, everything started happening. We realized we don't want to live out there. It's a little bit inconvenient. There was all these things that happened. It's like it's too far out of town.
The energy changed probably, right?
Yeah,
And then your perspective changes.
yeah, that's exactly right. Mercury retrograde.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So people can hear how that might look
yeah.
and how it affects. So it's not that long to wait if you have
No,
a major
yeah,
decision. And
yeah,
I know quite a few people right now that are thinking about changing their job or changing their hours or maybe adding on something new, and and just kind of sitting and waiting to see.
be
So
patient.
sometimes you have to be patient.
Yeah,
Fascinating. So we're at about the 25th, Carmen.
yeah. It'll get better around the 24th, 25th, and
Yeah.
then another major thing happening also around now is that on January 19th the sun moves into the sign Aquarius. So it moves out of Capricorn this month into the sun sign Aquarius, and Aquarius is an air sign. They're intelligent, innovative, creative. They're the rebels. They're free spirits. They like to question authority. You know, they're the non-traditional, signs of the zodiac. They're usually very humanitarian, social, friendly, have lots of friends and acquaintances. But they also are known to be a little bit emotionally detached, and they don't really know how to express emotions. They're intellectual. You know, they can talk and think, but they're not the best at connecting with the heart. And so this month we're going to feel this air energy, affecting us here in January. It starts January 19, and that's going to be the big thing. And then also Mars. This is important. Mars, the planet of war,
Yeah.
aggression,
Oh
change,
boy. Yeah.
drive, passion, all this stuff has been retrograde in Gemini. And so we have been feeling this. It started October 30th, and on January 12th, it goes direct. So this is great news, because we people have been feeling more irritated. Let me just say, I don't know how else to say it. More vocal, more question authority, arguing, bringing things up. There's miscommunication, also because Mercury's retrograde, it hasn't been helping the situation. So Mars and Gemini, Gemini is a communicator. They rule the third house of communication. So it also is ruled by Mercury. That sign is. Virgo and Gemini are ruled by the planet Mercury. So people, anything with communication, expressing yourself is going to feel like there's tension. When you try to express yourself, you may feel like you're judged or ridiculed or criticized, and then you turn it inward, and then you start getting angry because it's the planet of anger, and we're not expressing it out, we're turning it in. So people have been repressing what they feel, and then they can just let it out all at once, and there can be like impulsively, and
So
it can be like blow up.
okay. So
Like
this is around the 25th, or this lightens up around then?
this Mars specifically lightens up around January 12th.
Okay. So we're going to see some relief is what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Yes,
Okay.
we're gonna feel relief. Many things we said and did challenged our relationships these past months. A lot of things. So this started in October, and so it's been going on this whole time. And we felt like we had to speak our minds. There was tension. Now we can feel like we don't have to hold back. Mars direct makes us feel motivated. This is a good time now. It's direct. We can do those New Year's resolutions. We can focus on breaking out of
I
old
was going to
patterns.
say it's almost like we need to pretend that
Yeah.
New Year's is really the 25th.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
we need to sort of trick ourselves to say, okay, your New Year's Day might be the first, mine's the 25th.
Yeah.
That's when the news is going to come in. Carmen, we need to take a quick break.
Sure.
We're going to come back after the break, but I'd love it if you could just give us a couple of real concise tips on what we ought to be focusing on for January. And you can also wrap January up. But we'll be right back, everyone. I'm with Carmen Turner-Schott. She's the author of Sun Signs, the 12th, 12th house heal.
The 12th astrological house, the mysteries of the 12th astrological house, sun signs, houses, and healing. Yes.
And they're all a spirit. If you go to Just Ask, we wanted to make one-stop shopping for you. So Just Ask Spirit Marketplace.com, and you'll see Carmen's books there, and you'll see my new book, Energy in Action. So we'll be right back.
Nice.
This meeting is being recorded.
Welcome back to Just Ask Spirit. I'm here with Carmen Turner-Schott. We are here. Well, she's giving you the astrology update, the astrology update. So Carmen, what do we need to know? Like key things at this point.
So for the rest of this month in January, just know by the end of the month, you're going to feel a lot better. Okay. Mentally, emotionally, your mind's going to be clearer. You're going to feel emotionally less heavy, and it's going to be a lot better. So just if you can wait till, like we said, the end of the month, like the 21st, for instance, there's two things happen at the end of the month. We have a new moon in Aquarius, and that happens on January 21st. And it's a good time to set your new intentions, your new things you want to manifest. What are your goals? I recommend, there's something that I used to do years ago called 10 things I'm thankful for. So you make this list of things you don't have, and they can be material things, emotional things, spiritual gifts, and you rate it and you write down, I'm thankful for my new blazer. I'm thankful for my new job working at, and be very specific, and you kind of, write these goals out, these things you want, and then you read it every day, put it under your pillow, wake up, read it, believe it, and know that you can bring these things. Then read it at night, and you do this, to kind of manifest. And that's what you want to do during this new moon, because a new moon is like new energy. It's about your hopes, wishes, and dreams. What do you want to achieve now? And you'll be working on this, and this is going to affect us into the next month in February when we have the full moon. It'll manifest by the next full moon. So this is the time to start all those intentions. And then when we come back in February, we'll see how those things manifested for you. And we'll talk a little about.
Oh, how exciting. Did you hear that, everyone? So write down after January 25th, new
21st.
moon, 21st, new moon, start writing down your affirmations or your intentions.
Yes.
And then when we join Carmen in February, we will talk about that.
Yes.
Let's do that, Carmen. You and I'm going to do it with you.
Okay.
So we can talk about it.
Yeah.
So specifically,
I'll do it too. I'll make a 10 things I'm thankful for list. And I'm going to do it as well this month and see what changes. Because
just 10 things you're thankful for.
Yeah, but there are things you want to manifest that you don't have.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
you read it as if you already have these things. You could also do a wish board, a vision board.
That I don't have.
Yeah, you
All
could
right.
do a vision
Gotcha.
board. And then the second major thing we need to know that's going to happen here that's affecting all of us.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
you have to write this down. We're writing it down, correct?
Yes,
every day.
Right. No, you write your list, you get it all ready, prioritize it. Most important thing you want, 1 to 10. Or
Okay.
if 10's too much, you could do five things, 1 to 5. And then you read it. 10 things I'm thankful for. Number 1, you read it as if you have.
So we're writing it once, 1 through 10, and we're reading it every day until the next time we all gather together here.
Yes.
Okay. And
see if it happens. See what starts manifesting before the full moon in February. See what,
if
it hits your energy. It'll shift us out of the negative Capricorn, Mercury, retrograde, all of that energy, because we're getting into Aquarius energy now, see, this month, and it's going to help us be innovative and more optimistic and hopeful and all of that.
All right. So everybody, that's the plan. All right. Yeah. Okay.
And there's just one more thing that's majorly going on right now is the planet Uranus. The planet Uranus is the planet of unexpected change, erratic energy, shakeups. It's like it likes to kind of blindside us, make us change, force us to change, and then it goes away, then it comes back. It's like this unsettling, unstable electrical energy, and our Uranus rules the sign Aquarius, right? That's their ruling planet. So right now, it has been retrograde since August 24th, 2022, and it goes direct on January 22nd. So this is another major thing at the end of the month that's also happening that's going to help us feel better when we get into February. Okay. So we're going to feel a relief, because we've been feeling unsettled. We've been feeling like unpredictable, like what's going to happen next kind of feeling, because there's been so many things happening and that have been shocking and unexpected, shaking up people's security a little bit, their feelings of comfort. And it's just the energy that we've been feeling because of it being retrograde blocked. And now we're going to start feeling a flow and feel like, wow, we've really grown, and we're going to realize what we really want now. So as we get
clarity, and with clarity comes ease, right?
Yes.
With clarity comes ease. That's great.
What's going on this month. Yeah, these are the highlights, of the
I know these are the highlights. Thank you so much. This is really wonderful. So just so everybody knows, if you want to follow us on Instagram, because this would be a great place to post any feedback from the show, anything that you're learning. I'm at Sherianna.Boyle. And then Carmen, what is your Instagram?
I'm Carmen Turner-Schott, author.
Okay,
Yeah.
Carmen Turner-Schott, author. So either one, you can follow us both, and we both post the same graphic. So you'll see there of the show to remind everyone, and feel free to share it with people. And that's a great place that you can reach out to either myself or Carmen, say, hey, here's my 10 things or something, but we'll be encouraging you to do that. Thank you so much, Carmen. This has been awesome. So grateful for this. I love this.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I love this too. This is awesome. I love
yeah.
you. I could talk all day. We just keep going.
I know we really could. I felt myself going in a million directions, but that's okay. We're going to leave room for next time.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And there's always going to be more. So, okay, everybody, we're going to take another quick break. I am going to come back with a quick message from Spirit to close out the show. But thank you to Carmen, and make sure that you go to justaskspiritmarketplace.com, and that's where you can see both of our books. So I'll be right back. Welcome back to Just Ask Spirit. So now we're at the part of the show. I like to wrap up the show with a little message from Spirit. And sometimes these messages come when the show is in between during commercials. I kind of tap into Spirit, and I might send you a message that way. And sometimes there are messages that have been delivered over the course of the week, but nonetheless, the messages are always transmuted through emotions. So again, if you're not familiar with my work, my most recent book is called Energy in Action. It's on pre-order. And before that, I wrote the Emotional Detox book series. And in that series is a system I created called Cleanse. It's an acronym. And so what I do is I move through those cleanse steps. And that is a way to really access the divine. That is a way to access higher energy, higher insight, higher knowledge. So my philosophy is that emotions connect you to your soul, and emotions also connect you to other souls and to guides and masters. So couple of things. One is I feel that you could really benefit now that it is January and you just got your astrology awareness. I just want to pull a couple cards from my emotional detox deck. I have a deck, so I'm going to pull a card right now for y'all. And the first card is, let's see, I pulled the third card first. So I'm going to pull the first card, which is, there's two emotions on each card. They're opposing. It's either fear or faith. So you're either going toward faith or away from fear. And you might be in a lot of fear right now. So if you're in a lot of fear, then you want to move towards faith, move that energy. And in order to do that, I'm going to pull the next card to tell you what you could benefit from detoxing. So here we goes. I'm going to pull the detox card for you. All right. Hold on. I'm just making sure I spread them all out so I can see them all here. Oh, this one is calling me. Okay. Judgment. Judgment is what you want to clear. When you clear judgment, you use the cleanse system to do that, which is in all the emotional detox books. Cleanse is also in Energy in Action, but it's cleansing to connect you to the spiritual laws of the universe. It's a way to manifest as well as your spiritual guides and masters. Yeah, it's a very different way to use the cleanse. But this one is about clearing judgment, and then what's looking to manifest in your life is trust and open and surrender. So those of you who are wondering right now, the message of the week has been, those of you who are wondering, I wonder what's going to happen. Or maybe you find yourself wanting to know what is going to happen, what is next, kind of thing. The message for you today is, rather than asking, I wonder what is next or what will happen, instead, I want to know, well, what do you want to happen? What do you hope will happen? And I want you to focus on that, because it's more of a manifesting question. What do you want to happen? Okay, so that is the spiritual message for you this week, as well as what you want to be detoxing judgment, so you can really develop that trust. Thanks again for listening, and I'll see you next time.